Beans. Hi guys, welcome back to CMD and another video. You join me at Porsche Center, Nottingham, a brand new, purpose-built destination Porsche Center. The 911 is in for service and a little bit of work. And in the last week or so, I've uploaded a video with regards to that experience. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. But while I'm here, it seemed like a great opportunity to test drive a few cars. Tom Hale, true to form, knowing that I'm going to be here for the day, has decided to chuck me the keys to a few special things they've got lying around here, and there are quite a few, but this one was top of my list. This Cayman GTS 4-litre PDK, a head turner, no sooner you see it on the car park, finished in paint to sample jet green. It's got a multitude of options all over it, including the GTS interior pack. So, should we go for a drive? Yes, we shall. Okay, so just cruising, getting a bit of heat into the car. I've got a few miles to go before I can hit some windies in this. My experience in Caymans is really only in a GT4, so I am, to a greater or lesser extent, spoiled rotten. The GT4 is essentially a track car for the road, okay? It's got a very stiff setup, but an awful lot of theatre about how it drives, and it is comfortably, to this day, my favourite thing I've probably ever driven. But the GTS has got an opportunity to be the middle ground. You still get the 4-litre naturally aspirated engine, revs all the way to 7,800 revs. This is a PDK. So again, I think this is potentially ultimate touring spec. And you do get an awful lot of convenience with a Cayman that you don't get with my 911. As an example, I've got a frunk, which is the same size, must be, it is to my eyes, but with a boot. You even get these little trays down the side that you can open, just pop in like a little pack-a-mac or, you know, something of a small size. What I will say immediately is the ride is noticeably a lot more relaxed than a GT4. I know, state the blindingly obvious. Listen to it. Oh, still got that magic. Right, Beans. I defy anyone to drive a car with this engine in and not come out with a humongous smile on your face. Let's try the turning circle. Good turning circle. Oh. Being the GTS, we get a huge amount as standard in this car, but this one is then spec'd up to the nines. I mean, paint to sample is now an £8,000 option with Porsche under their most recent price list. We get the crayon stitching, very beautiful interior, lots of Alcantara everywhere. Because it's the GTS, you've then got things like sports chrono as standard, Bose speakers, reverse cameras. We've even in this one got a fire extinguisher, which is a bit of a peculiar option choice on a GTS, but you know what, I'll let them have it. And then you get to listen to this. I'm on very bumpy, undulated country roads here in the UK, and the car just seems to suck it up. This GTS in the PDK, especially if you're in manual, I'll just click that into auto for now. When you drive it in manual mode, this suffers from the same issue that the manual suffers from. I say issue, gearing that the manual has, in that it is quite long, and that comes from being a very good naturally aspirated engine that revs out. But because of that, if I click it over into manual, I mean, third would take me, I don't think the gearbox would let me pull off in third, but if you were in a manual you could pull off in third, laboured admittedly, and that would probably take you over a ton, I would imagine, based on the fact that I'm doing 50 mile an hour at 3,000 revs. I sort of admittedly have sniffed at the Cayman GTS because I've driven a GT4, and it's completely misplaced, that opinion, completely misplaced. I'm wondering, on reflection actually, whether this is a better buy than a GT4, and I know that's sacrilege. I know the internet's going to hate me for that, but if you drive one, I think you'd understand. Admittedly, I would want a manual. That's nothing from the PDK in this car, but because of how brilliant it is just in general and as a daily ride, and then when you chuck it, there's just this additional level of engagement that's textbook Porsche DNA, if you like. I just feel like it's almost, is it a criticism? It's almost too easy. I get why people would buy a PDK, alright, I do, I get it. If you're going to daily the thing, it's a lot easier, and this is the sort of car that you could go touring in. The GT4, if I went across Europe in a GT4, I would need new eardrums, a new back if it had buckets, in fact, a new back full stop, just for living without suspension. Right, opportunity to open her up. Okay, I am a fan, a big fan. Listen to how long that gear is. People criticise the gearing in the Cayman, especially with the 4 litre, and I get it to an extent because it can be deemed less engaging because you can hold the gear for so long, but you've got to drive it properly. Okay, you've got to operate in that sort of 5,000 to 7,500, 8,000 rev window, because that's when the car's really singing, really dancing, and at peak power. But if you're going to operate it from 3,000 revs up, yeah, the gears are too long. The reality of that then in the UK is you can only really do that in first and second gear, so then you need to get it on track. Is it the right car for the track? No, the GT4 is the right car for the track, and therein lies the criticism. You can only really use the gears within certain parameters, unless you head for the Autobahn. Or you've got your own private track or private road and you can have some serious fun. You've got to compare this to a GT4. Now they're different price points. If it were my money, I'd have a 4 litre manual. I don't know either of them. I shall cogitate whilst driving a little bit more. Whilst I am doing that, for the pleasure of your ears. Right, roundabout. If it was my money, I'd have a manual GTS. 4 litre manual GTS. It's so capable anyway that for the odd occasion you would use it on track, it would be fine. You could dial it into Sport Plus, go maximum attack mode, and it would do a large majority of what a GT4 could do for you. Yeah, okay, you'd lose out a little bit to a GT4. You're heavier, you won't quite have the setup, but the Geo, yeah, if you were that bothered, the Geo could be sorted and you'd be there. What a thing. Tom warned me that this was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Not sure about the sheep's clothing thing. I mean, this thing in the flesh is so beautifully specced. It's unbelievable. And, oh my god, I've just seen this. The cup holder's right here. Yes, Porsche, yes. Love that. So there you have it, a bit of a shock review. Thought that I wouldn't rate it as highly as a GT4. Thought it wouldn't have the drama, the theatre, and for all the softy and the dialed down everything, it would lose too much. It would give too much to day-to-day existence. Not the case. Absolutely incredible. I hope you've enjoyed the video and what has been essentially a bit of a play around in a GTS 4 litre. Huge thank you to Tom Hale at Porsche Center Nottingham and the team there for looking after me. I'm there today filming all sorts, and if you like what you see and if you don't mind, give us a like and a subscribe. It goes a huge way to making a big difference. That's important because the ad revenue that we generate from CMD all lands into a designated bank account. All of that money, every single penny without exception, is being donated to local, national and international charities. With over £2.5 grand donated in the last 24 months, I'm really keen to keep that going and basically increase those numbers. That wouldn't be possible without people like Tom and Porsche at Nottingham giving me cars to play with, but also without people like you watching videos like this. So if you like what you see, give me a vote. Right. A few windies back to town. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Cheers. I think I like it.